Hey guys, welcome to today's video on Hawaii Knifing Gear. Back out here today at the beautiful park here on central Oahu, and it's a little bit windy today, so I apologize for the background noise. Kind of bear with me here. I have two new TwoSun knives that I want to show you today, and the first one I want to start with, this is a knife that I have had on my TwoSun wish list for as long as I can remember. This is one that I just always liked the shape and the design of from really as far back as when I started getting TwoSun knives. I always looked at this one and thought, man, it's a cool looking knife, but I just never got around to checking it out and bringing it in. It was always going a little bit too high at auction for me, and just never ended up grabbing one. And at some point in time, I saw somebody posted a video and they were complaining that the flipper tab was too small on it and that it didn't open and close very well. But recently another friend of mine picked one up and he said, no, the flipper tab is fine. I think it opens great. I think you would like it, so bring one in, check it out. So I did. Finally got one for a decent price, and I think I paid maybe around 50 bucks for this one, maybe a little bit less. But this is the TS28 Cyclops. It's a night morning design. It's a black wash titanium handle. It's got really cool milling pattern to it. It's a nice interesting hole in the middle of the blade. Almost kind of reminds you of a cigar cutter or something. But just very cool little knife. Looks almost industrial looking, robotic even. Cool looking pattern to it though. I like that it has a nice lanyard hole in the backspacer. It's kind of jimping along the back of the backspacer, a little bit jimping on the flipper tab. It actually, I think it opens just fine. It's got nice strong action to it. The blade comes out really easily. Good snap to it. So I think I'm very happy with this one actually. I'm glad I finally decided to bring one in and check it out. It's got this nice grind to the top of the blade here. It gives it a little bit of unique look to it. It's extremely sharp. Nice flat grind about halfway up. Overall, I think it's a very cool knife. I don't know why it's taken me this long to finally bring one in, but yeah, I'm definitely happy with this guy. I think with a lot of the TwoSun knives, my main complaint is going to be the pocket clip on this guy. It's a little bit too shallow to go into a pair of regular jeans. You know, some pockets are thinner, some are thicker, so on a thicker edge pocket, this is definitely not going to clear very easily as it is. It's a pretty strong clip to it, so certain pants I think it'll be fine to carry, other ones maybe not so much, but other than that, as far as the knife itself, I think it's a really good one. So this is the TS28 Cyclops. And the other one that I wanted to show you, I think by coincidence, again, just yesterday, LTK posted the same knife on his channel. This is the TS64 in hideous orange G10. And I'm sure most of the people that watch my channel probably also follow his as well, and just know I'm not trying to bite his style or anything like that. There's no way I could have actually gotten this knife in a day from China anyway. I ordered this one a little while ago. It just happened to come in the same time he posted his video. So if you'd like a full review on it, you should probably go and watch his. I'm sure he will go into much better detail on it. I haven't actually had a chance to watch his video yet. I'll try and watch it later today and see what his thoughts were on it. But personally for me, the reason I brought this one in, I think if you've seen my other videos, you'd know that this is my TS64 in titanium that I've been carrying for almost a year now, and I really love this knife. This is just a great solid user. I think I actually had the first video on YouTube with this knife, so it's definitely one that I've had for a while now, and I really like it. So when I saw that they brought out this really ugly orange G10 version, I thought, maybe I'll bring one in, see what it's like, possibly dye the scales a different color. But after thinking about it, I really got to wondering if the blades would be interchangeable, and if I could take this blade and use this knife as kind of a donor and give my carry knife a new life without having to actually buy another one. So I took them both apart and I did swap this blade into here. It opens and closes okay, but the only thing that I found is the lock face itself is just slightly longer on this one, a couple thousandths of an inch maybe, so the lock bar itself does not clear and does not engage all the way over the edge of the lock face. So with a very slight modification, I think I can take the top of the hardened insert and just shave it ever so slightly with a file, and it would clear this blade just fine, and I think I can make it work. So they are very, very close, but not completely dead exact one to the next. The other thing that I noticed, if you hold these knives exactly lined up here, you'll notice that the orange one, the blade is just slightly shorter by maybe a millimeter or so. I'm not sure what the reason is for that, but it's really close, but this one's just slightly different dimension to it. So that was the reason I brought it in. Looking at the knife itself, if you were actually going to buy it and keep it as is, I think the edges on it are very sharp. They didn't round over the G10 at all, so it just feels really blocky. It feels sharp and kind of uncomfortable in your hand. Definitely not my favorite one. I like that they put the titanium clip on it, but the clip actually sets in a little bit different and sits in this hole right here. So while the clip on this one is nearly perfect, this one not so much. So the clips actually do look to be identical, so you could use it for the other one if you needed to, but you know, there's just a few things about this knife that I really don't care for by itself. Besides the sharpness on the edges of the G10, the actual lock bar here has a 90-degree edge to it, so when you go to disengage the sucker with your thumb and push it over, it just very, very sharp. You can see it cuts way deep into your thumb, so not a comfortable knife to use overall. I think if you're looking for a budget knife, this would not be my recommendation for you. Spend the extra 20 or 30 bucks or whatever it is and get it in titanium, because this one is a great knife. This one, I'm not a fan of most of their G10 stuff, and this one definitely falls into that category now that I have it and I see it. But yeah, I mean, right here, this is about the perfect package for me. I think a big determining factor for what makes me want to carry a knife or not is the pocket clip, and this is one TwoSun knife that has just got an absolutely perfect clip to it. You can see the difference in height here. Hold them side by side. You know, this one just has enough clearance overall. It just goes in and out of your pants easily. It stays in your pocket nice, but it's not a problem to get in and out. So this is just, you know, this should be the size that they make all of their pocket clips, in my opinion. But that's it. That's my thoughts on this guy. I think as it is, it's just a I don't know, not a great design overall. I should have left it alone in titanium, but for what it's worth, I think as an organ donor, should work just fine, and give my carry knife some new life. So that's why I got it. But that's my video today, guys. Thank you for watching. Feel free to leave a comment. Let me know what you think about it, and I hope to see you at the next video. Thanks.